I'm going to talk my way through a couple of proofs here to give you some ideas about how you could get through proofs, and also the advantage of doing this way rather than live in class is that if there's anything you're puzzled about, you can back up and restart and run the thing over again. So let's take a look at this proof here. How do we begin? Well, the best advice is always to start looking for places where you can apply information extracting rules. And if you look at this proof, you can see that we have an opportunity with the fourth line to do that. So we used line 4, I've italicized it here just to help you keep track, and we extracted not t from it. Now, we could have gone on and extracted u as well, but if you look at the rest of the proof and you look at what we're trying to get, it seems pretty clear that u isn't going to do anything for us. So while it wouldn't be wrong, we just haven't bothered to do that. Now we look for other places to apply information extracting rules, and if you look here, you should see among the things that are left over that we can actually use disjunctive syllogism. We can take line 3 and line 5, sorry I should have italicized that, and using them together we can get Q arrow R. So that comes from 3 and 5 by disjunctive syllogism. That's another case of applying an information extracting rule. But now, well, we've got P arrow Q left over. We don't have P. We've got Q arrow R left over. We don't have Q. We've got P arrow R arrow S left over. We don't have P arrow R. But is there anything we can do? No simple way to apply an IER, but notice from 2 and 6, we can get P arrow R. So if we go ahead and do that, we're going to have a way to apply another information extracting rule. We can use modus ponens with 1 and 7. And that will get us S, which is exactly what we need. Okay? So if you like or you feel you need to, you can rewind and go over that again. But what we did is we looked for opportunities to use IERs, and when we ran out of simple opportunities, we looked for ways to create those opportunities, in this case by getting the antecedent of something by using another rule, hypothetical syllogism in this case. Okay, here's another proof, and this one may seem a little bit more confusing at first, because when you look for ways to start, there's no simple IER that we can use. We can't use modus ponens, we can't use modus tollens, there's no and statement, so we can't simplify, we can't use disjunctive syllogism. Wouldn't help us to conjoin any two things, wouldn't help us to use addition. We can't chain any things together here to use hypothetical syllogism, but don't forget, there's another information extracting rule that we can use, and you want to make sure that you keep it in mind. We have an OR statement. We have one disjunct arrow P. We have the other disjunct arrow, the same thing, P. And so from 2, 3, and 5, we can extract the information P by using dilemma. Okay? So we got P, but now it might not be clear what to do. If we had R, we could simply get our conclusion, but we don't have R. But R occurs up here, and if we could apply a rule to this line to get R, then we'd be able to get to our conclusion with one more step. What would we need? It's an OR statement. If we had this plus an extra tilde, we could get R. Now, we can't go to that in one step, but if you notice, from P, we can get P or Q just by addition. So this is one of these cases where you have to keep this pesky rule of addition in mind, and then by double negation, we can get what we need to apply the disjunctive syllogism step. Let me just move this up a bit. So yes, we really do need the double negation step here. And once we do that, we can get R from 8 and 1. And once we have R, we can get T. So let's just see what we did. We used dilemma to get us started. The way that P entered into the proof was that first it got us P or Q, and then by double negation, it let us apply disjunctive syllogism. That gave us R, and that gave us T. Now there are some general tips here. First, you really do just want to know the rules. You want to know what they are. You don't want to have to cast about in your mind to remember what they are. You've got to know them cold. Second, pardon the typo here, don't try to use a rule when it doesn't apply. Don't do something that's kind of like, well, this would be modus ponens if I had things a little bit differently, but I don't, so I'm going to try to use modus ponens anyway. Making errors like that doesn't help you. It just makes fallacies in your proof. Always keep on the lookout for ways to use information extracting rules. They are what drive proofs, and remember that dilemma is an information extracting rule. And finally, you can use these rules like conjunction, addition, one of the forms of biconditional definition, and hypothetical syllogism. You can use those to make opportunities to use information extracting rules. And sometimes they're what you need to use to get the last line of a proof. So you can review this again, or what you might do, instead of simply reviewing it, is write down the two problems. They both come from the text, but that's okay. And see if you can reconstruct the proof. By reconstruct, I don't mean memorize. I mean think your way through to the conclusion. Hope that this helps.